Masterful Living, my year-long course, is reopened for registration for just a few days. And in case you'd like to jump in and join us this year, we're going to have a magnificent year. Once registration closes, that's it. We're closed for the year, so you have to wait till next year if you're interested in joining us. Let me tell you just a few things about what sets Masterful Living apart from any other kind of class you might like to take. So this is more than just listening to classes, a lot more. And it's a lot more than just watching videos, because we have a powerful spiritual community of like-minded souls from all over the world. And we're doing this work together. This will be my 12th year of offering Masterful Living. And so we have several levels, year 1, year 2, year 3, and then what we call Ascension Pathway. And folks stay in Ascension Pathway for years and years and years because they are so enjoying this community of light workers who are truly having miraculous transformation. Some of the things that happen every year in Masterful Living are people very commonly heal long-term depression. I'm talking about chronic depression, people who've been depressed for most of their life, for decades, for 5 years, for long periods of time. They really come out of that depression. They go off their meds. It's very common for people to go off multiple medications because they're having emotional healing, they are having physical healing, they are having mental healing, and healing at all these different levels. And so they no longer need those medications. They go off with the supervision of their doctor, and they save that money, they save that time, and it's all a result of doing the self-love work and the forgiveness work. This is what truly living A Course in Miracles means. It means actually doing this work. Anyone who's a Course in Miracles student knows that when you work the workbook, that's when the healing happens. So we're doing a version of that in Masterful Living. One of the other most common things that happens for people is they have extraordinary relationship healing. Many people have difficult relationships with their spouses, with their children, and with their parents, with their co-workers, and even their friends, as well as other relatives. In fact, who among us hasn't had some of the biggest challenges in their life be their relationships? So one of the things that happens every year is that people come into Masterful Living and they'll tell me, Jennifer, I'm anticipating I'm going to get a divorce this year, and I just need that extra support to make it through, and so that I can stay centered in love and have a harmonious uncoupling. And I say, well, let's see what happens. And it's not uncommon. I'm thinking of Marion last year, who she thought she was headed towards divorce. In fact, she and her husband separated in the spring, and then in the fall, they came back together, and now they're reunited and happier than they've been in a very long time. That kind of thing is common every year. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Some people do end up getting divorced, and they're able to do it in a harmonious and healthy way. And that's a beautiful thing. I've also seen people who came into the class because they needed extra support because they were getting divorced. They were already separated, and they knew this was the time the divorce was going to happen. And then over the course of the year, I've seen people, their spouse says, can we get back together, when they're sitting there with the divorce papers on the table ready to sign them, and they decide to move back in. And then before too long, they're having a recommitment ceremony, and their lives are profoundly changed. And of course, I don't have a whole lot to do with their healing. It's sharing a spiritual practice that really works and giving people tons of support. In case you don't know, I've been training spiritual counselors for many years now. And so we have a lot of spiritual counselors in this community. And they are wonderful, talented people who are doing brilliant, beautiful work. And so they are a support system in this Masterful Living community. And because I'm training and certifying spiritual counselors, many people like to become facilitators and get that experience of supporting others as they were supported the year before. And it's wonderful how people are paying it backwards and forwards and all around the circle. There's so many different components to Masterful Living, and you can choose the ones that work for you and put the rest to the side. We're all grown-ups, we're all adults now, so nobody has to do anything. But what I do know is that when we work together and do the really deep forgiveness work, and we eliminate the guilt, and we eliminate the shame, we eliminate the blame and the resentments and the repeated patterns where you feel like you're having the same arguments, the same resentments, the same regrets, and it's going on and on and on over and over and over again. It feels demoralizing. It feels depressing. And so to get out of those cycles and to lift your family and your coworkers up is a wonderful thing. There are a lot of folks in this world right now, and you may be one of them, who feel a bit distant from their friends and their family, and they're looking for true spiritual friends. They're tired of having those same old ego conversations, and they don't quite know where to look for those new, deeply spiritual friends. And we've got them. We've got them all over the world, and they are waiting to be friends and prayer partners and masterful living family with you. So this is what we have going on in Masterful Living. We have testimonials where people cancel their surgeries because they've had so much healing. People who had some real challenges with arthritis or chronic pain have had healing. Now, not everyone has miraculous healing every year because everyone is working at a different pace. Everyone is putting different amounts of their own energy into it. So you get out of it what you put into it. And that's how all of life is. So if you're ready to roll up your spiritual sleeves and get to work and do some beautiful work, and not just listening to audios, not just reading books, not just having conversations, but really doing healing spiritual practices that work, like learning how to have effective prayer and how to really use affirmations so that they work, how to interrupt those mental patterns and really apply those beautiful healing, nurturing teachings of A Course in Miracles. Then Masterful Living is probably for you. You can come in and check it out for a month or two, and then if it's not for you, you can always withdraw. No problem. We're accepting of whatever will support you in your spiritual journey. So come check it out, read the testimonials. You'll know for yourself if it's right for you. We'd love to welcome you, and we've got just a few days left. So now's the time if you'd like to really get some work done this year and have some healing and transformation in your finances, in your career, in your body, in your family, whatever area of your life that you're really ready to make a difference in and have a change. Come join us. Hey, I almost forgot to tell you, one of the things we do in Masterful Living is we have exploratory calls. Free exploratory calls. You can book one with one of the spiritual counselors, get all your questions answered. You see, Masterful Living isn't for everybody, but if it is for you, you'll probably know it and feel it intuitively. So come get all your questions answered. Book an exploratory call with one of the spiritual counselors who's been doing it for years. They've been in Masterful Living for years, so they can definitely answer all of your questions. There's no charge. We're happy to do this, help you get clear if it's right for you right now, and then you'll know. Isn't that a cool thing? And these are wonderful people. They are beautiful at doing spiritual counseling. So come book an exploratory call. Find out if Masterful Living is right for you this year. If it is, you'll know. Trust that. It's always good to trust the knower who knows within. Yes. See you soon.